with apologies to Stewie. Mom, mother, mummy, mom. Let's take a look on the bright side. Hello, my friends, and welcome to The Bright Side. I'm your host, Bob Herzog. We are headed into Mother's Day weekend as we record this episode, so I hope you're ready. Flowers, an overdue phone call, a good old-fashioned card. It's the least you can do after all your mom has done for you. She just wants you to be happy, and that's all we really want here on The Bright Side. We just want you to be happy, and of course to share that happiness with others. Seriously, do it. Right now. Do it. See? Now you've made me happy too. Let's just keep that happy train chugging down the tracks, shall we? These tracks are pretty steep, but despite that, the special guests on board, they're still happy. Happy little plush Bob Rosses on a happy little ride. Kings Island, right up I-71 from where I'm standing, used these squeezable little painters to test out its latest roller coaster before the start of the new season. The Orion Giga Coaster is the tallest and fastest roller coaster at Kings Island. The park shared this video of the toys being taken down that 300-foot drop before racing up and down 7 hills along 5,300 plus feet of track at speeds up to 91 miles an hour. The Orion actually opened last year, but a lot more people should get to ride it this year. Kings Island opens May 15th. I don't know if I could ride that. I'd have a happy little panic attack. By the way, you can win those Bob Ross dolls at various carnival games in the park. And if winning a Bob Ross isn't cool enough, imagine a car you built yourself would be turned into a Hot Wheels car. A custom car builder in California is living that dream. Car builder Riley Stair won Mattel's 3rd annual custom car competition. He had no idea his idea would gain traction, but the judges thought differently, and Stair's 18-month labor of love took the top prize. Sharp stuff. More toys on tap in this next story, but this isn't child's play either. An Army veteran from Milwaukee is using Legos as a form of therapy. Megan Marshall reports on how the hobby has helped him deal with the pain.
Legos weren't always a part of Jeff Hagginson's life.
As a kid, I absolutely hated Legos. But
now he would say Legos play a pretty big role.
At one point, you couldn't sit on my couch, use my coffee table, my kitchen table. You couldn't use like the bar top. You couldn't use the counters in my kitchen. Everything was Legos.
These thousands of blocks have helped bring Jeff to a happier and healthier place than he was many years ago. Jeff is an Army veteran who served multiple tours from 1998 to 2011. After his final tour, he battled PTSD and turned to drugs and alcohol before his life changed in 2015.
I thought I was doing well, and then one weekend, a memory came up on Facebook from when I was in Afghanistan, and everything just kind of literally within, I want to say like 24 hours, went from being clean and sober, happy, to in the hospital with a broken back from a suicide attempt.
But his story didn't end there. He began working with Legos while at the Milwaukee VA in 2018, discovering he had a new hobby he could use to keep his mind occupied.
It just means pain relief. It's just a way of dealing with it other than going back to the alcohol and the drugs like I used to.
Turning to Legos instead. Jeff has built hundreds of them in just 3 short years. His favorites, of course, are Star Wars.
You got the R2-D2s, you got regular battle droids.
So as he makes his way around his newly set up exhibit at the War Memorial, he reflects back on all he's made and the things he's accomplished while building these Legos.
You got all the cars, you got Dom's Charger from Fast and the Furious, the Aston Martin.
A form of therapy, symbolic of him putting the pieces back together for himself while building creations that are out of this world.
And again, that was Megan Marshall reporting there. Now from a man who never imagined he'd be playing with Legos as an adult to a man who many thought might never be able to live life to the fullest. My good buddy Adam Clements caught up with one man with a lofty goal. and an organization ready to help him reach it.
I grew up in a small town in northern Minnesota, and we own a family farm. We put our big bales of hay, big square ones, on pallets, and I had two about 900-pound square bales fall from 12 feet on top of me and shatter my neck in 3 different places and a bunch of other stuff.
It was an accident that would change David Sparby's life forever.
The doctor actually said, you know, he'll be lucky if he ever gets his brain back. He pretty much said I was going to be a vegetable the rest of my life.
Not a prognosis David wanted to hear, nor one he was willing to accept.
The person I was before I got hurt wasn't going to be the same that after I got hurt. So you basically have to learn and to just move on.
He may have lost his ability to walk, but this Minnesota farm kid never lost his passion for life, excitement, and the great outdoors. Enter Luke 5 Adventures.
I like to use the word unique in the literal sense, as in no other. And so what we were providing was unique in that there was no other organization in the whole country that is doing what we're doing.
What the local nonprofit is doing is providing adventurous outdoor experiences to people like David, who would otherwise never have the chance.
They're so excluded from everything. They're stared at. They're counted as something less, and it just breaks your heart after a while that there's so many people that are not included in what you and I would just think of as normal.
A special wheelchair called the Rosie is flanked by volunteers who escort the chair's occupant to places they never dreamed they'd see. David's thrill of choice and bucket list item, Red River Gorge.
It ended up being probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. Being able to go out there and actually adventure what everybody else can do is pretty significant, especially when you never thought you could do it again. You can actually let go. Like, that's really what it is. You can actually just be free of like the restriction of the chair.
They say it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But for David and Luke 5 Adventures, it's about both.
Imagine yourself on a 300-foot cliff. If you have a disability and would never be able to go there. At the same time, imagine you are the one who's helping that person get there. And it's impactful.
There's always going to be something that gets in the way, but don't give up on it and always find a way to do it. You know, believe in yourself, but also appreciate what you have while you have it and just keep going from there.
Wow. And remember that story, some thought David might be a vegetable. David has a total of 7 degrees from the University of Cincinnati. I do love that story. Well, by now you're probably wondering, Bob, what are you doing? Where are the mom stories? Well, don't you worry. We've got plenty, and we're starting big, and I mean really big. A woman in Mali got way more than she bargained for. She may have beaten the world record for the most babies born at one time. The 25-year-old just gave birth to 9 babies at one time. You heard that right. She had, and I hope I'm saying this right, nonuplets. They had to send her to a special hospital in Morocco to deliver the children by C-section. In all, she had 5 girls, 4 boys, and Mom and the kids are doing just fine at last check. The previous world record was 8 children, and the Guinness Book of World Records is looking into this case. The doctors are still trying to figure out how it all happened, since the new mom only expected 7 children. She gave birth to a baseball team. She thought basketball team, couple of subs, but no, she birthed the 27 Yankees. Now, in her case, there were just more babies than expected, but she knew babies. In this next one, a woman didn't know there was any baby in there, and she gave birth on a flight to Hawaii. Just so happens, fortunately, on that same plane, 3 NICU nurses and a family physician. When Lavi Manga started having contractions, the 3 nurses from Kansas on vacation sprung into action, having to get creative. They used whatever they could find on the plane to help keep mother and baby safe.
I went up and I went back there first, and she is holding a baby down at the bottom, like underneath the toilet almost. And so I'm yelling, "Mimi, there's a baby, and it's little."
We made baby warmers out of bottles that were microwaved. We used an Apple Watch to measure the heart rate. We used what we had around to create insulation and create a little incubator for baby.
Once on the ground, baby and mother were rushed to the hospital. We are told they are also both doing fine. They totally MacGyvered that birthing equipment, and I love it. Good thing those folks were ready to jump into action. Now here's a mother-daughter duo who know a thing or two about jumping into action, and they're making history in Long Island. Justina Bryan Collins is the first female volunteer captain at the Massapequa Fire Department. She rose through the ranks with the help of her daughter, also named Justina. The two EMTs made the decision to give back to their community together.
Took classes together, we learned together, we took our tests together, we passed together. We didn't cheat, but we both got the exact same score.
They're not calling the ambulance for just a free ride. Like, they're in sometimes the worst position that they've ever been in, and to be able to help individuals with my mom, it's absolutely amazing.
On Mother's Day, by the way, the two will enjoy some well-deserved downtime, doing one of their favorite activities, gardening, but as always, they'll be on standby to answer the next call to serve their community. We have time for one more to inspire. One woman wanted a mom. Another was willing to be that mother. Wendy Lane has more.
As a teen, Monier spent years in state care and group homes. That's where she met her caseworker, Leah Pascalitis.
She told me what she was going to be doing and helped me out with my case. I didn't like her, she'll tell you that.
But over the last 5 years, the two formed a special bond.
She was very motivated and she had aspirations for her future, and I wanted to help her continue to have that. And so I knew that she just needed support.
She gave her all the support her job would allow. By the time Monier was a senior in high school, she was doing everything alone and realized she wished she had a mom to help her.
My senior year, when I went through I didn't want to do it anymore, I'm done, she picked me back up and told me, I got you pretty much. So, yeah.
Don't make me cry. Don't do it.
That's when Leah stepped up.
She had always said, I wish you could adopt me, I wish you could adopt me. Couldn't because of the job. And then I was watching a documentary where the person had been adopted as an adult. And I had never really heard of it.
So they filled out all the paperwork, and over a Zoom meeting in front of a judge, the 19-year-old gained a mother and Leah a daughter.
I never thought I would be being adopted, never. Especially not as an adult, so my thing is, don't give up.
In Bradenton, Wendy Lane, ABC Action News.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Moms are the coolest. Share this with your mom, just in case she needs to take a look. On the bright side.